Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Eyewitness Show with Nikki George. Today, we have our very special guest, Zhivi Williams. We are so glad for you being here today. Zhivi, just so everybody knows, she has been seen on Black Weight Loss Success, 6 Weeks to Success to Fitness, Christian Weight Watchers Success Network, and she's also been on WBTV. So we are so grateful to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So Zhivi, you're a motivational speaker. You're an author. You're an accountability coach. You're the NASM Certified Women's Fitness and Nutrition Specialist. You have over 20 years of plus experience and you're also in the cutting edge of the fitness industry. So, why is it that you don't like the word diet?
Well, so you may find that a lot of trainers don't like the word diet. I personally do not like the word diet only because to me, when people go on a diet, it's like a beginning and an end. When this journey, I don't even like to say call it a weight loss journey because it's really not all about weight loss. So usually what happens is when you get to the end and you reach your goal, what happens next, right? So usually when people go on a diet, it's because they want to get to a certain weight, they want to get to a certain size. And so when they reach that goal, right, then what happens? So I like to tell people it is better to live a healthy lifestyle, which does mean changing the way you eat, right? It doesn't mean actually being strict to a eating habit. For example, like Weight Watchers or some other program that is considered to be a diet, right? So it really is about lifelong healthy eating. Now, I will say this. If you wanted to do Weight Watchers for the rest of your life and that's the way you wanted to eat, then that's fine. If you wanted to do Mediterranean diet, but that was how you were going to live your life, your eating lifestyle for the rest of your life, then that's fine. It's just that usually what happens is when we get to the end, we lose all this weight. Usually what happens is on a traditional diet, then people stop doing what they did to lose the weight. And they gain all the way back and some, like they'll gain it back and they go above what they, where they started at.
Wow.
So that's all for diet because usually people stop once they reach their goal and don't have a plan to they don't have a maintenance plan.
Okay. So what is it that people need to know in order to help them to lose that weight or to live that to get healthier?
Well, first you have to realize that the journey is more mental than anything else.
Okay.
Once you change your mind about the lifestyle you want to live, right, which means there are going to be days you're not going to want to do it. There are going to be days you don't want to eat certain foods. There are going to be days you want to eat food you're not supposed to. That's very mental, right? Very, very mental. There's going to be cravings. You have to try to figure out how to get over the hump with the cravings. So the journey is more mental than it is physical. And so first you have to change the way you think about your journey. First thing may be you might change the way you think about weight loss. You might say, okay, so some people say, I want to lose 50 pounds. And that's a great goal. But maybe the goal should be, I really want to live a healthier lifestyle. And what does that mean? That means I want to get off this medication. That might mean I want to be able to play with my kids and grandkids without having to stop. And I want to go up and down stairs without having to catch my breath. So those may be the goals instead of just the 50 pounds I want to lose. The other thing about that is once you've set your mind, because all of this can start at one time. Like, okay, a lot of times everybody has been here before, right? We're not just starting our journeys right now. Like, not a lot of times it is I started and then I fell off, and then I started and then I fell off again, right? But you have to come to terms, or you have to make up in your mind, if I fall down, I'm going to get back up. Right? I might fall down today. then that means I have to get back up tomorrow. Or maybe you fall down at lunch because you had a burger and fries. That means you get back up at dinner time.
Mm-hmm.
So that is part of the journey. The other part is to, what I like to say is to do modifications, modify everything. So for example, if you're starting the journey out, what a lot of people like to do is they like to say, I want to work out 6 days a week, or I want to work out 5 days a week. And usually what I ask people is this, well, how many times are you working out now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't work out at all, or I work out 2 days a week. Well, do you really think, it's about being realistic. Do you really think you should be doing 5 days right now, just out the gate, right? Just your body's not even used to it. And mentally, you're not used to it either. So you usually say, take your time, right? If you're not doing any workouts at all, start with 2 days a week and maybe do 10 minutes. Usually once we start working out, we really start to feel good. You might be able to go a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but that might be the start point. And then you gradually add and build onto that, right? So you might just start off with only walking 10 minutes outside, or going to YouTube and get a walking video and walking 5 or 10 minutes to a walking video inside. There's so many ways. And that also includes eating, right? So if you eat a lot of fried food, then what you might do is cut back. You might say, you look at what you eat, let's say that's unhealthy. How much of that do you eat during the week? So you say, well, we all know what unhealthy food is, right? We all know what that means. I don't have to explain what that means. We all know. So you might say, well, I eat unhealthy food about 5 times a week, right? 5 times a week. And then what you might want to do is start cutting back, right? Maybe you cut back, okay, I'm only going to eat unhealthy food for 4 days instead of 5. Or you take a look at your meals and you say, how often, how many meals am I eating that are not healthy? And you cut back on your meals. Or you might pick days. You might say, okay, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, those are the days I'm going to eat healthy. We kind of know what that means. Our vegetables, preferably fresh vegetables. And then if you can't get that, frozen, and then cans last. And then healthy carbs, right? Less white bread, less white rice, but your healthy carbs, and then your protein. One of the things I suggest sometimes is we eat by what we see. Not only that, but a lot of us grew up in homes where our parents or whoever our caregivers were made us eat all the food on our plate, right? We could be full. They like, no, you won't eat all that food on your plate.
Right.
You don't eat it all. You sitting at the table full and about to cry, and then other things happen when you might cry. So, so what happens is that gets ingrained into our brain. So that as adults, when we go out to eat and the portion sizes are 2-3 times, what they should be, we're trying to eat all the food on our plate and we still full, So what I suggest to people is eat off of a saucer. Not like a little bitty tiny saucer, but to eat off of just a regular saucer, right? Because you're going to still eat by the way you see. And, right, it's a battle of the minds, somebody said. It really is. So if you eat by what you see and you're eating off of a saucer, then that's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to eat. And you'll be amazed at how full you'll get just from that portion size. Because it's going to be about controlling your portion sizes as well. So it's about starting off slow. And Nikki and I were talking before, and I said, on this journey, Christians, you're probably going to have to do a lot of praying and ask God for a lot of assistance because it is a big struggle sometimes, really big, especially when you have children or your spouse is not doing this with you and there's just junk food everywhere. So those are just a few things, like a few tips I like to give to people when it comes to the journey, right? Start slow. You don't have to go from 0 to 100 as soon as you start. Allow your body to slowly cut back, because a good example of this is someone that is on drugs, right? When they're on drugs and they want to get off of drugs, go through a detox phase, right? We all know that. The same when you go on this journey. When you start to cut certain foods out your body, you're going on a detox. You're detoxing your body, and your body is not going to be happy with the detox. You might get headaches, and those are things that could deter you from keeping on the journey. You might have an attitude like, "What's wrong with you?" So it's those type of things. So you want to slowly cut back to allow your body to slowly detox from the sugar, from the caffeine, from the fried food, from all these different things that you have been eating.
Yeah, and I noticed that you said even on your YouTube channel, you're saying that transforming the body starts with the mind. And so you're kind of really talking about, because most times we're thinking about losing weight or getting ourselves in shape, we're just thinking it's about, I have to eat a certain way. I have to, and to a degree that's right. But you're saying in order to even get to that place, you have to do some mental work. You have to, so we have some comments here. Giovanni says everything starts in the mind. Change your mind, change your thoughts, change your life. Marie says it's time to prosper and be in health. Nas says it's definitely a battle of the mind.
Yes.
So, so how do you keep people motivated or thinking right when it comes to living healthier, eating healthier, or making better choices?
So there's a couple of things. First of all, a lot of times you'll hear people say, "Oh, I'm just not motivated. I need someone to motivate me." No one can do that but you, right? I can't motivate you. That's almost like someone saying to you, "I need motivation to read my Bible." Well, what can you do to motivate them to read their Bible except, maybe you give them, maybe try getting up early in the morning, right? Maybe try using an app, right, to help you with reading the Bible, right? So motivation, honestly, is internal, and you have to be able to motivate yourself. Now, can you get a trainer? I'm going to tell you a perfect example. So people say, "I'm going to get a trainer because they're going to motivate me to keep going." Well, the trainer, honestly, is not going to be at your house, waking you up out of bed, getting you up out of bed, putting your clothes on for you, right? Changing the way you think about doing things. No, you have to find a reason to motivate yourself. That's number one. And then number two, I mentioned this and it just came to my mind. Everything is about a choice, right? Everything we do is about a choice. And so one thing to remember, as I mentioned to Nikki before, is, the word says choose you this day. Choose this day. Now, of course, it does say choose this day who you will serve. And you can look at it the same way, but you have to make the choice every day. No one is stopping you because you're an adult. You're not a child, like where parents can tell their child basically what to eat. As an adult, you choose what you want to eat. And the choices we make, right? The choices we make are what happens is the consequences of the choices we make is what shows up, right? So if we choose to eat unhealthy, a choice, because you can choose to eat healthy, or you can choose to eat unhealthy, right? Choose
it literally shows up.
It will show up, right? It will show up at the doctor, but the doctor's like, your cholesterol is up, your blood pressure is up, your weight is up, right? That's because we have chosen to do or to eat some things we should not be doing. You can choose when it comes to stress, like start choosing how do you de-stress, because stress builds up cortisol, which is fat in the body, especially in the mid area. So, how do I choose to be less stressed out? Right. What are different choices you can make on your journey? Because sometimes what people don't realize is what does stop them from progressing in their journey may be something from their childhood. So maybe one of the choices you need to make is you might need to see a therapist because there may be some unresolved issues that actually are causing stress in your life to affect the way your journey, your weight loss journey, if people want to call it that. So motivation, again, is internal. You have to figure out, because people can't be there for you. And the other thing you have to remember is this. Let's say you say me and Nikki are going to go walking, right? And Nikki's like, yeah, we're gonna walk, and we calling each other, and we walking, and we have a time set every day. We walking at 5 o'clock. We walk from 5 to 6 o'clock. What happens if the one person decides they're not going to walk today? Do you still go walk? Or do you say, I'm not gonna walk because they're not going with me? There's that motivation. That's internal, where you still would say, no, I'm still gonna go. Okay, well, girl, I'll just see you next time. I'm gonna go for the walk today anyway. No, because what can happen is that if it's just the two of you or three people, everybody can stop. But where does that leave you? Do you keep going, right? What choice do you make? I'm still gonna keep going, or no, I'm just going to stop, and because I have nobody to walk with me, right? That's a choice to make.
Right.
So yeah, so it's all about the choices that we make when it comes to the journey. And like I said, no one is holding us hostage when it comes to what we can and cannot eat. We just choose to eat what we want to.
Right. And so what is it? What's the difference? So one person gets a diagnosis and their lifestyle changes. Another person gets the same diagnosis and their lifestyle stays the same. What is the difference there?
Okay, so again, it's back to the choices, but it's also about our why, right? So, why are you losing? Why are you losing weight, or why do you want to lose weight, right? And so our why has to be so strong that it keeps us going regardless of what happens. So as Nikki mentioned, I'll give a good example of that, right? So let's say two people go to the doctor, and the doctor says to them, maybe, okay, you're borderline diabetic. And they tell both people the same thing. You need to exercise. You need to start watching the way you eat. You know, if you don't get this under control, it could possibly lead to you losing limbs, right? Okay, so they both have the same diagnosis. Now let's talk about their why. One person's why, maybe, you know, I think this diagnosis is my why. I do not want to lose any limbs, right? So I'm going to better my health. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start working out. That's what I'm going to do, right? So that's my why. That's what's going to keep me going, because I do not want to be on any kind of medication. I don't want to, you know, do any of these things this doctor's talking about. Now, the other person, they just shrug it off. Oh, okay, right? So that why their limbs being cut off is not strong enough for them to keep going. You have had people, you can have two people have a heart attack, and that event causes one person to say, oh no, I'm definitely going to start living a healthy lifestyle. I'm not ready to leave this earth yet. I need to, you know, get my life together. While the other person, they just go back to eating all the food, doing no exercise, because a heart attack, right? That was not a strong enough why for them to make a lifestyle change. Sometimes I suggest not to do this for a why, but sometimes people, their why is a person, right? I was speaking to someone before, and she was telling me her and her husband used to go work out all the time. And, you know, that was her motivation. That's why she was doing it. And her husband passed away. And then she stopped working out and gained weight. So her why, although it was her husband and he was motivating her, he was doing it, that why was not strong enough because he was no longer here for her to keep going. Now, some people's why is this: I want to stick around and be as healthy as I can for my kids and for my grandkids. I want to live this life as long as I possibly can in the healthiest way I can. And that why is strong enough. Some people's why might be, you know what? I want to lead by example. I want to show my children that it is okay for you to eat this way. We have more energy, and I want them to see an example of what this looks like, right? So that might be a strong enough why. So everybody's why is going to be different, but that's the why that when you fall down, you get back up, right? The why has to be stronger than you losing 50 pounds, because what happens when you lose the 50 pounds? What happens when you want to get into a size 12 and then you get into a size 12? Now that why is no longer strong enough because now you've made it there. Now what? You need a new why? You know, so the why has to be strong enough to keep you going, that no matter what happens, no matter, even if you reach your goal, no matter what happens on this journey, you're going to continue to keep going. Even if that means you fall down, you say, okay, I'm going to get back up. And so that's the why that keeps you going on and on, because really this is a lifestyle journey. This is not I'm just getting ready for my birthday journey. I'm just getting ready for a wedding. I'm just getting ready for whatever. No, this is a lifestyle, which means you're doing this until you go be with Jesus, right? So you're doing this for the long haul. This is what some people say. It's not a sprint. It is a marathon, right? Just like
That's
I walk
right.
across, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon. And you can compare to that. Even if you just started your walk with Christ, or you've been in it for 50 years, what you do know is it's a lot of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
But what you have not done, maybe for some people, you have not given up, right? You haven't given up on God. Now, some of us, I can just speak for myself, right? I fell off, right? Fell off the wagon. I was off for some years, but then I came back, right? And been on it ever since. But that doesn't mean I have this perfect Christian life, like, oh, everything's smooth sailing. No, it is not like that at all. But that's how your healthy lifestyle, that's your healthy lifestyle journey is that too, right? It's filled with ups and downs. You might fall off for a while, you come back, but it's for the rest of your life. So you want to continue to do the best you can, right? And don't compare yourself to someone else. That's like a big mistake that people make, right? They compare themselves to someone else when in fact you don't know what that person has done to get them to where they are. What if they lost a family member and they lost a lot of weight, right? Is that what you're willing to go through? Are you willing to go through a loss in order to get to where that person is? We just never know. We never know what someone else's journey was like. They may have had surgery, which is also okay. But usually when it comes to like a lap band surgery, the doctor still tells them you got to lose a certain amount of weight in order for that to happen. So everyone's journey is different. Everybody's body composition is different, right? And so you don't want to compare your journey to someone else's. All you want to do is the best you can on your own journey. And that's it.
That's great. So I'm going to go through a couple of comments. And when I come back, I want to also ask you what your why is. You spent 20 plus years. You're still in the fitness journey. And, what was so powerful to keep you going all of these years? So I'm going to ask you that in just a bit. Okay. So we have Mickey says it's a lifestyle cause. After the diet, then what? It's a lifestyle. Johnny says life is choice driven. Gotta love it. Angeline says the consequences. Oh my goodness. Gee, she said, Lord, help me to keep going. Johnny White says, start with what's good. Start with the why, and that's good. Shakita says, amen. Health is wealth. She said, our bodies are where the Holy Spirit dwells. We must take care of our temples. Amen to that. That's awesome. Terry Hill says, thanks for the why. What's your reason for the why? So we're asking you, what's your reason why? Why have you been able to keep on this journey?
So I have a couple different whys, right? So I have probably been in fitness since about the 4th grade, really. And the reason being is because I had a learning disability growing up. And unlike now, the doctor told my mom to put me in a sport. What happened was I did not crawl as a baby, so my motor skills did not develop. So I was told to, so basically I was trying to walk right before crawling. So the doctor told my mom, put me into a sport to help with my motor skills. And I have been doing that ever since because it did help with my learning disability. So that's really why I started, right, in my fitness journey. Now, when it comes to, so that has been my why for a very long time because I've been in college. And again, that helps with my learning disability. It helps me to remember things. And it's really one of the reasons why I still do work out. Now, when I started my business, that why was a little different. So when it came to the business, I just remember like I just love working out. Like that's my thing, right? That's my thing. I love working out. And when it was time to start the business, God had told me to start the business. And some of you have probably experienced that. God said, I want you to do this. And you're excited. You're like, okay, God. Now, some of us are, and some of us may not be. But for those of us who are, we're like, yes, I love it. I'm going to do it. And you're 100% on go. That was me. And I was trying to get this story. And I said, one day I was going to do an event. And the event was in Durham. So from Charlotte to Durham, for me, is about 2 hours drive.
At least.
About 2 hour drive. And so someone said, oh, I'm going to be there. I'm so excited. I had to find a place. And this is not where I live. And then someone else said, oh, I'm going to be there. And my sorority sisters are going to be there also. I drive all the way there, 2 hours. I get there and one person showed up. I was so hurt. Like, she probably didn't know I was hurt, but internally I was really, really hurt. I was like, this must not be right. This is not the thing that I should be doing. I didn't care if God told me to do it or not. I was like, So when I drove back home, I was so disappointed in 2 hours. I literally got in bed and went to sleep. That's how disappointed I was. I was just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. It cost me money to drive up here. It cost me money to get this place. One person showed up. I'm not doing it anymore. So when I woke up, God asked me, why are you doing this? And I said, because you told me to, right? Because that was true. Like, because you told me to do this. And then God said to me again, no, really, why are you doing this? And so my why was because I wanted to see people live healthier lifestyles. So regardless of if one person shows up, no one shows up, regardless of what happens, I will still show up, because helping that one person live a healthier lifestyle is key. Right? That's it. Even if it's the one person I can help, right, to not have a heart attack, to get off of their medication, like, diabetes or high blood pressure medication, like, to help that one person, that's all I need to do. I don't have to help 100 people. I don't have to help 500 people. I don't have to be some kind of big star. I don't have to have all this money to help at least one person change their life. So that's my why. That's why I do it. On top of, I really like it. I really enjoy doing it. Right. So as my husband would tell me, you're addicted. I said, I could be addicted to worse.
Right. Right. So, I think that's awesome. And, when God gives us a why, and we pursue that, and it promotes growth in the kingdom, and it's letting God use you, and it's powerful. And so I feel like you tapped into my why, and I think to just continue to encourage people to find out what that why is, because that will, like you're saying, is what's going to keep you going. If you fall down, you're going to get back up. And so I think that's awesome. So you've also written books. Right?
Yeah.
You've done a lot of things. You have a YouTube channel, so you're very passionate about what you're doing and what you're talking about, because it's about transforming not only yourself, but you're also out to transform other people's lives. And so that's so powerful. And so tell us some of the things that you've written, and some of the things that you do where people can tap in and get you as a resource.
Yeah, so I wrote a book called Who Needs a Gym? Using Social Media for Weight Loss. And I wrote this book because I wanted to get rid of the excuse of, I don't have enough money to work out. Well, there's a lot of free resources out there, and social media is one of them. If you can find the right group on a social media website, people will post meals, people will post before and after photos, they will post exercise routines. Here's what I'm doing today. Some people, I like myself, post workout videos for people to do, where I include modifications for people who cannot do the full ones, right? You have a wealth of information on YouTube. So I touch on different resources that people can use in the book without having to pay for anything, right? So at this point, if you don't use those, it's just an excuse. You just don't want to do it. It's just a choice. You just don't want to do it, right? So there's that. And then, like you said, I have my YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel, I keep my workouts to about 30 minutes, except for yoga, but usually it's a 30-minute or less workout. And I will do modifications, and I do full exercises, and I do everything with no weight, because I don't want people to have the excuse of, I need weights to work out. Well, no, you don't. You just need body weight. And if you have weights, you can incorporate them. And then, of course, on social media, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I do Facebook Live workouts not every morning now, but I do Facebook workouts Monday, Wednesday, hopefully soon back on Fridays, where I just only do stretching. And people they're free, right? They're free, and you get to come and do them. And then I do host.
Okay, she's frozen right now. But so what I will do is Zhivi is at lbxfitness.com for those who are interested. There is her logo right there. It is lead by example. So awesome. All right, so we're going to end today's broadcast with that. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. We just wanted to make sure that you knew Zhivi Williams, life fitness coach, lbxfitness.com. And we hope to see you on the next episode. Be blessed.